Hi, my name is Emiel Romein. I'm a software development manager at Exact. You might have heard of Exact as a proud sponsor of Max Verstappen. Max and Exact share a fierce ambition to be the best at what we do. And for Exact, that means that we want to empower the small and medium businesses to be the driving force of the global economy. And we do so by making business software, and we are in fact the #1 cloud accounting provider in Europe. Exact was founded 33 years ago by students in a garage in Delft, and today there are 1,700 people working at Exact, and 500 of them work in technology. There are over 350,000 companies that use our software in more than 100 countries. And at Exact, we have several products aimed for the smaller and bigger companies. I work for Exact Online, which is a business software in the cloud for smaller companies. Exact Online is hosted in 4 data centers and available in 7 countries. And every month we have 110,000 people using Exact Online. They view 25 million pages every single day and fire off 50,000 queries to our database every second. And we release our software 4 times a week to hundreds of thousands of customers, which I think is really amazing if you really think about it. If it comes to software development, you could say we follow the sun. With development teams in the US, Europe and Malaysia, in total more than 300 people develop the Exact Online product. Most of the techies are located in Kuala Lumpur and in Delft. So let's focus on these 2 locations for now. The product owners, architects and the user experience researchers are located in Delft. In the Netherlands, the software developers and testers are mostly located in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. So, you could say that the more strategic part of software development is done from the Netherlands and the more coding and testing is done in Kuala Lumpur. The biggest challenge by far is the collaboration and communication within the teams and amongst the team members. And you could think this is a bit of an open door and obvious, and it is. It actually has to do with the Allen curve. Thomas Allen discovered an exponential drop in the communication between engineers as the distance between them increases. In fact, the communication between people decreases dramatically in the first 8 meters. So you could say that if someone is out of sight, he or she is simply out of mind. Let's have a look at what we do to increase collaboration and communication with processes and tooling. First off, is that the team should be available for each other. It's an open door, I know, but I often hear people tell and read blogs about product owners that aren't available for the team for days or even weeks. It seems silly, but schedule team meetings and make absolutely sure you block your agenda. If you don't block agendas, other people will simply steal your team time. But it also shows commitment to the team, which is a very important signal to give off. Also be sure to be on time for your meetings. It's very frustrating for a team to be waiting for only one person, especially if it's the product owner. It makes the team feel, well, unimportant and maybe even inferior. So be on time. The Allen curve shows that even in the first 8 meters, communication drops exponentially. This means you need to have processes in place that enable communication. You want processes that stimulate and motivate people to interact as much as possible, because if you don't have these processes, people will simply stop communicating. Nobody wants it to happen, but it still does. At Exact, we use Scrum to develop our software. And Scrum really helps us to have a regular contact between Delft and Kuala Lumpur. So let me give you a couple of examples. A lot of teams have a refinement session, 1 or 2 times a week. In these refinement sessions, the product owner and the team talk about what needs to be developed in the upcoming 2 weeks. By scheduling these refinements in the agendas, the process enables a rhythm of communication between the team members. Communication becomes a weekly routine, thus breaking the Allen curve. And the same goes for the daily Scrum meeting. This is a 15-minute meeting the development teams have every single day. In this meeting, the team looks at the planning and figure out what needs to be done to achieve the goals and deadlines that were set. This meeting enforces a daily collaboration meeting, and again, this breaks the Allen curve. Another very important thing to do is to update the team often about the product planning and deadlines. In Scrum, we have, for example, a review meeting every 2 weeks. In the review meeting, the team demos what they have built to the customer and the stakeholders and asks for feedback. I love it when the product owner informs the stakeholders and the team about the status of the planning in this review meeting. What have you done? What is upcoming? And the most important part, why is this important and what goals would we like to achieve? By repeating this every 2 weeks, people get the feeling of being part of a plan and a vision. And this is really what makes people feel that they are part of something bigger. Look each other in the eyes as much as possible. Don't rely on written communication, really don't. I cannot repeat this often enough. I don't know why, but people tend to prefer writing an email over starting a video chat. But written communication is by far the most inefficient way to transfer knowledge or information. Not only is it extremely slow, but the percentage of information that is actually being transferred from one to another is truly very low. So always prefer talking to each other over things like email 4-hour chat. And try to have face-to-face contact as much as possible. At Exact, for example, we have set up rooms with 360 degrees cameras to have team video meetings. And we have some teams that use a digital window, so it feels like you're sitting next to the team. And that is again breaking the Allen curve. So to summarize my talk on processes and tooling. Keep in mind that our biggest challenge has to do with communication and collaboration. Remember the effect of the Allen curve. Out of sight means out of mind. When people are only 8 meters apart, you need processes and tools in place to support communication and collaboration. Make yourself available for your team. Start using Scrum if you are not ready to do so, if you're not already do so. And finally, I cannot emphasize this enough, make sure that you look each other in the eyes.